Hello, hello, hello. All right. So, if you were with me for my last uh, live really quick or watched it, I really appreciate it. And, you know, I am passionate about this. It's important, and we all should be. So, anyway, interesting report came out today, and I wanted to review it. I put the link in the chat. It's also in the description box. Please take a look. Let me get over to it really quick. This is the report that came out of Ken Paxton's office here in Texas, our Attorney General. This is regarding the report on the investigation into complaints made and actions taken by former political appointees of the Texas Attorney General. Everybody, I think, has seen the stuff about, people talking bad about Ken Paxton and this and that. Well, this is kind of a part of the investigation and a report on it that came out. So here you'll see there's a table of contents. It is long. It has a lot of facts and information in here. I suggest that everyone take the time to take a look at it so that you know what's going on. We need to get used to doing this. This is important. Don't believe the people on the TV set with the agendas that are telling you what to think. Look for yourself. So I've provided this to you. Okay? So I'm only going to hit on a few things because this is long, but I'd like to read this. This part at least. I'm sorry. Excuse me one second. My throat's a little dry still from the lovely air we have here sometime in Houston. But anyway, purpose and scope of investigation. This internal investigation report documents the investigation conducted to review and analyze the actions taken by employees and political appointees of the Attorney General of Texas, AG, and other individuals. This investigation is ongoing and reflects our understanding of the facts that we have been able to determine at this point in time. We believe that it is in the public's best interest to not delay the release of these findings, and we will continue to investigate. So, note, they are still investigating. This is the first report. This report evaluates allegations made by former political appointees in a criminal complaint and a related formal complaint made to the AG on or about September 30th, 2020. These allegations, in turn, arose out of two criminal complaints made by Nate Paul. The investigation underlying this report began on October 5th, 2020, and this report is limited to the facts presented to the AG related to the events occurring before October 5th, 2020, and any relevant information that informs understanding around those facts and subsequent interviews thereof, and inferences from all such information. Any allegations that were not included in the above mentioned formal complaint or that have surfaced in the media after such date, in particular, the allegations made by the plaintiffs in a pending lawsuit, Brickman et al. Versus Office of Attorney General, are not addressed in this report. The former political appointees that made the criminal complaint against Attorney General Ken Paxton, AG Paxton, are Jeff Mader, Ryan Bankert, Lacey Massey, Ryan Vassar, Mark Penley, Blake Brickman, and Darren McCarty, the complainants. See Exhibit 1, Letter from the Complainants Disclosing Criminal Complaint. Their complaint contained 4 accusations that AG Paxton improperly, number 1, issued an opinion regarding the state's open records law, number 2, intervened in the investigation of the Might Foundation. I hope I'm not butchering the way it's pronounced. If I am, forgive me. Number 3, issued an informal guidance document regarding foreclosure sales. And number 4, authorized Attorney Brandon Kamak to act on behalf of the state of Texas in a criminal case. Because the complaints accused A.G. Paxton of bribery, this investigation also examined whether these or any other acts relating to Nate Paul or his criminal complaints were improperly influenced by a bribe or other illegal consideration. This report relies on facts rooted in documents, third-party interviews, and the application of Texas law. A majority of the documents reviewed were located within the Office of the Attorney General, or OAG. The term OAG refers to the collective body of buildings, employees, document systems, email systems, and files belonging to the AG. However, through the course of this investigation, it was discovered that some of the complainants operated in an unaccountable manner by not documenting their actions, instructing subordinates not to document their actions, dismissing other employees so they could have secret meetings, deleting emails, and potentially other acts taken to conceal behaviors, processes, and evidence. Therefore, it is impossible to affirm that all documents, communications, emails, or evidence have been discovered through this investigation. We reserve the right to update and modify this report and its conclusions in the event that additional relevant documents or evidence are found. Okay? So that is what this report is looking at. Anything outside of that is still being investigated. And I just want to reach out there and let you know if you have any knowledge, even if it's hearsay, okay? You need to report it because they will investigate it, all right? It's not up to you to determine if it's valid or not, okay? Now, don't give them hearsay on what color socks Ken Paxton was wearing, okay? You know what I'm talking about. Now is the time to come forward. Now is the time to speak up. If you have not already, I would do it now because this investigation will get to the bottom of everything. And you want to make sure you're on the right side, okay? And please, I know some people like Ken, some people don't, okay? Think about why you have decided you like him or not. And when you have that in your mind, what proof do you have? Okay? If it's just because, channel, 102 or whatever told you, no, sorry, not enough evidence. I need you to start looking at things from a legal perspective. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. Just because you say something about somebody or you make up something about somebody, it doesn't make them guilty. And we've got to stop our little whatever in society where we all like to look at car wrecks and we all like to think we know it all and we like to judge before we have all the evidence. That is a sickness in our society that needs to stop. I'm guilty of it, okay? I get it, all right? There's so much that's going on that it's very easy to do, but we got to get better. All right. And that means me too. So call me out anytime. Call me out if you think I'm being a hypocrite because the last thing I want to do is do that. But I count on people. I count on my friends. I count on my loved ones. I count on you to tell me, hey, it's kind of hypocritical, don't you think? And hey, I promise I will think about it and I will take a look at it and I will take a look at myself and I will decide. And I guarantee you, I'm going to be honest. I got nothing to hide. I'm human. I'm a sinner like the rest of us. I make mistakes. So do you. So don't get on a high horse and act like you don't. All right. So let me move forward here. This is the executive summary. Number two of the report, executive summary. The complaint's allegations are either factually incorrect or legally deficient. Review of relevant documents and interviews, and based on the timeline and analysis laid out in this report, this investigation revealed the following. A.G. Paxton's actions were lawful and consistent with his legal duties and prior actions taken by Attorney Generals of Texas. A.G. Paxton committed no crime. I'm going to repeat that. A.G. Paxton committed no crime. The complainants provided no evidence to the OAG of a bribe, and likewise, the investigation otherwise uncovered no evidence of a quid pro quo relationship between Paul and A.G. Paxton. The actions taken by A.G. Paxton in his official capacity or his authorized designees were likewise proper pursuant to his legal obligations. Contradictory to the claims made by the complainants in their formal complaint, the following actions by A.G. Paxton were indeed lawful. First claim. The Open Records Division issued a closed letter that made a determination not to disclose information to the requester, who allegedly, I'm sorry, just 1 second here. I want to make sure that you're hearing me okay. All right. Let me start this over. First claim, the Open Records Division issued a closed letter that made a determination not to disclose information to the requester, who was allegedly connected to Nate Paul, on due process grounds. On two prior occasions involving Nate Paul's interests, the Open Records Division sided with the government agency against disclosing to Nate Paul or his attorney, consistent with the position taken by the United States Department of Justice's briefing. Second claim, A.G. Paxton's actions to intervene, investigate, and mediate in a possible settlement regarding the Might Foundation were in keeping with past investigations into that charity. Former Attorney General and now Governor Greg Abbott had previously sued the Might Foundation, as the Might Foundation has a long history of bad acts and scandals regarding government intervention and private litigation. A.G. Paxton's involvement is consistent with his predecessor and in line with his required duties and legal obligations as Attorney General of Texas. Most relevant here, the position taken by the AG in this litigation was adverse to Nate Paul and in support of a higher settlement amount to be paid by Nate to the Might Foundation, as opposed to the prospect of continued and costly litigation that would disproportionately benefit the charity's court-appointed receiver and its lawyer. Third claim. The informal guidance letter regarding foreclosure sales written by Bangert was made in response to a request for disaster counsel advice from Texas Senator Brian Hughes during the height of the pandemic and not for the benefit of Nate Paul. Fourth claim. In connection with the two criminal referrals made by the Travis County District Attorney's Office, TCDAO, to a OAG, A.G. Paxton, with input from Mater, retained Brandon Kamak as outside counsel for OAG. Kamak legally and properly exercised authority delegated to him by both A.G. Paxton and the TCDAO. Kamak was designated as outside counsel for OAG by A.G. Paxton, and he was also knowingly appointed as a special prosecutor by TCDAO. Texas law authorized Kamak to serve in these two capacities simultaneously. In particular, the following deficiencies with the complainant's allegations are noted. Excuse me. At the time the complainants made their criminal complaint against AG Paxton, they did not know that Kamak had been appointed outside counsel, nor did they know that TCDAO had appointed him as a special prosecutor for both criminal referrals. Without this knowledge, the complainants incorrectly assumed that Kamak acted illegally by taking various actions, though he was in fact authorized to take such actions. This misunderstanding underlies several of the false allegations and assumptions complainants made in their complaint. Likewise, though the complainants said in their written criminal complaint that staff refused to approve the request to retain outside legal counsel to investigate the Travis County complaint, several complainants participated in the process leading to Kamak's engagement. For example, then First Assistant Attorney General Jeff Mader took part in interviewing candidates for outside counsel for this investigation, including Kamak. Another complainant, then Deputy Attorney General Ryan Vassar, drafted the outside counsel's contract for Kamak, emailed it to the parties, and approved the contract in DocuSign. Kamak's engagement as outside counsel was further recommended by then General Counsel and now Chief of Staff Leslie French at the request of Vassar. TCDAO, through First Assistant Mindy Montford and Director of Special Prosecutions Don Clemmer, voluntarily and with full knowledge of what they were investigating, opened two different criminal investigations referenced herein as referral number 1 and referral number 2. Referral number 1 related to allegations regarding tampering by federal and state officials of a government record, i.e., altering a search warrant after it was signed by a federal magistrate. Referral number 2 related to allegations of a conspiracy by private persons and entities to foreclose properties owned by Nate Paul's companies at fraudulently lowered prices. I'd like to make a note here. Go back and watch my video about, Houston, we have a problem. Judge Hidalgo has some interesting stuff in her orders. Also, similarly, I don't like that word, sorry. Also related to stuff like this. Allegedly, I don't know if this is happening. I'm just saying that there's a couple dots here, that everybody may want to look at. All right, moving on. Material facts were unknown, ignored, and in some cases, willfully obfuscated by the complainants. For example, the complainants did not know about referral 2, which was material to the false assumptions within their criminal complaint. Referral 2 involved different potential defendants and different potential crimes than referral 1. TCDAO did not recuse themselves from either referral 1 or referral 2, and therefore, under Texas law, TCDAO retained legal care, custody, and control of the investigation. OAG could only assist TCDAO in their investigation because there had been no recusal by TCDAO. Kamak never personally appeared before a judge or before a grand jury in the referrals he was working on, but he instead relied on TCDAO to have the subpoenas issued. TCDAO Chief of Public Integrity Unit Amy Meredith and her staff, including Bailey Molnar, with full knowledge and assistance of TCDAO Director of Special Prosecutions Don Clemmer, were responsible for obtaining grand jury subpoenas and maintained control of that process from entering the subpoenas into DocuSign, setting up the signature fields in DocuSign, communicating information, and providing the subpoenas to the judge presiding over the grand jury. TCDAO knew what was being subpoenaed by Kamak, I'm sorry, investigations into referral 1 and 2, and most importantly, held control over all decisions regarding the subpoenas presented to the court. The claims against the potential defendants in referral 1 and 2 were never ruled out, and questions remain as to whether a crime was committed in referral 1 and 2. The complainant's actions and the media controversy that resulted likely created an untenable situation for Kamak to complete his investigation. There is no evidence that Nate Paul committed any criminal act in filing either criminal complaint. In fact, Paul followed the proper procedure of completing Travis County's complaint paperwork. There is no evidence that Nate Paul attempted to bribe A.G. Paxton. The complainant's attempt to use a campaign donation as proof of the bribe, however, Paul has made only one campaign donation to A.G. Paxton in 2018, not only well before the allegedly improper actions taken by A.G. Paxton in 2020, but even before the FBI's 2019 raid that formed the gravamen of Nate Paul's criminal complaints. By definition, this 2018 donation could not legally constitute a bribe because neither Paul nor A.G. Paxton could have known that the FBI would raid Paul's house in 2019 and did not know the future events that would occur after such raid had taken place. In order to convict a briber, the government must provide that the accused intended to bribe the official. Intending to make a campaign contribution does not constitute bribery, even though many contributors hope that the official will act favorably because of their contributions. U.S. versus Tomlin, 46F3D, 1369, 1379, Fifth Circuit, 1995. See also U.S. versus Allen, 10F3D, 405, 411, 7th Circuit, 1993. Accepting a campaign contribution does not equal taking a bribe unless the payment is made in exchange for an explicit promise to perform or not perform an official act. Vague exceptions of some future benefit should not be sufficient to make a payment a bribe. Here, not only was there no promise, but there was not even a vague expectation of a future event taking place, i.e., the FBI executing a sealed search warrant in the future. As the investigation uncovered, it was in fact Vassar and Penley who violated Texas Code of Criminal Procedure Article 20.02H. Furthermore, Penley misled Don Clemmer to obtain copies of secret grand jury subpoenas for the unlawful purpose of providing those subpoenas to a third party, namely Johnny Sutton. Penley misled the 460th Criminal District Court judge in a court filing by not disclosing that Penley had within his possession a signed contract between A.G. Paxton and Kamak that designated Kamak as outside counsel for OAG. Vassar, upon notice that an investigation was being conducted into his actions, deleted a government document and tampered with evidence, or attempted to tamper with evidence, likely violating Texas Penal Code sections 37.09 and 37.10. Former Director of Law Enforcement David Maxwell instructed OAG forensic examiners Aaron Mitchell and Les St. James not to document their findings, nor to log the search in any official manner. This was a violation of OAG policy and best practices that could have jeopardized their investigation. Additionally, Maxwell's directions call into question the sufficiency of any actions taken by the forensic examiners. It should be noted that the complainants in many cases did not provide any information or details of their complaints or otherwise flatly refused to cooperate with requests to do so, including by voluntarily providing government records in their possession, if any. Okay. So number 3 goes into actual factual background of what happened from June 20th through October 2nd, 2020. I'm going to read just a piece of this. I want you to go read this. I know some of this legal stuff can be boring, but there is a lot of evidence and fact in this document. Evidence and facts are what we need to be looking at. Evidence and facts are what we need to stand with, to speak up with. Okay? Because allegations, anything other than that, will not hold up in a court of law and will not do a thing. All right? So let's see. The chronological discussion that follows is based on dozens of witness interviews, numerous exhibits, and other evidence gathered in the scope of this investigation. This chronology includes brief legal discussions underlying relevant events as necessary for the sake of clarity. The Attorney General of Texas at any time is responsible for approximately 37,000 active cases and fulfilling numerous constitutional and statutory duties on behalf of the state of Texas. To accomplish the goals of his job, the Attorney General of Texas employs approximately 4,200 employees to manage the caseload. Within the executive leadership team, there are attorneys general responsible for specific divisions based on the type of case and activity. The potential for the work of the AG to impact the lives and businesses of any individual Texan in more ways than one is not unusual. See Exhibit 43, 73-page list of statutes requiring or authorizing action by the Attorney General. Okay, so here is a lot of evidence. I'm sorry about my dog. I'm having one of those days. So please go to this. Take a look at it. It has it all. Well, everything that they're releasing right now. And I need all of the news people, all of the media to report facts. Plain and simple. We are here to look into it. We are here to figure out what we think, how we feel. Do not give us lies. Do not tell us how to think. Do not tell us how to feel. And do not tell us that we have to give consent to anything that we don't want to. So after that little rant, as you can see here, this also has documents, which are their notes. Okay? So here, from 7/6/20, Penley notates that Ken stated to him, and that would be Ken Paxton, that Ken just wants the truth. I don't remember ever seeing anything being reported on that. Do you? So go ahead and go through this. It's interesting. If you want to see a car wreck that's real, here you go. Go to it. Spread the word. Talk about it. Tell people. It's important. We cannot let these political hit jobs continue to lie to people and to hurt people. So take a look. It happened in Texas. It's happening in Texas. And it's happening everywhere. And there's a common theme. Not only do you follow the money, follow the media, follow the players, you're going to see a pattern. Okay? So I appreciate your time. I appreciate and love all of you. Please take a look at this information. I've given it to you. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. I'm going to be digging through this more, and I will probably come out with, at least try to come out with some bullet points of what I think we need to take from this. And don't forget, this isn't over. This is just the first part. There is still an ongoing investigation. So keep faith. We are an amazing nation of laws. And I know we got some bad people in there, but we got to get it cleaned up somehow. And it's by finding facts and truth and supporting the ones that are fighting legally and correctly for our rights everywhere. Support them. They need it. I love you. Have a great, blessed day. And I'm not sure if I'll be back or not. I'm going to dig into some stuff. But if I'm not, I will see you first thing tomorrow morning. If I do not come back later today, please, again, go download this, take a look at it, share it. This is truth. This is actual evidence. All right? I love you. Have a good evening.